Good morning. It's 11 a.m. here in the UK, and here's my live. As promised, I'm doing two a day at the moment. I'm doing one at 11 a.m. on my profile, then there'll be a repeat at 8 p.m. on my page. So if you missed this one, you can always jump on the next one. It's just so I can cover all the time zones, you see, because I've got some really important stuff to talk to you about. Now, if you recall, if you were on my live yesterday, I'm just going to recap on it just so that you know where I'm coming from. I really gave you my backstory of what's really happened over the last few years, but in particularly since I became an online marketer. And the thing is, prior to even the online marketing, due to unemployment, I was already way, both my husband and I, way in debt. And then to add to that, we had the added debt of everything I did. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, you will need to check out yesterday's live. It was all the extra $14,000 worth of debt that I'd got into through leveling up in my online business and spending on advertising, only to find I wasn't really getting the answers I was looking for. So today what I want to talk to you about is what I really believe was the catalyst for my breakthrough. And it was really about really harnessing that law of attraction. And so first of all, I'm just going to preface it with a couple of things. So I've got my agenda here. This is on this app, the Be Live TV. And I've got a little agenda, and there we go. Is that the right one? No, sorry, wrong one. Where's my number 11 gone? How do we get into? Hang on, sorry, this is a new tool. And by the way, if you've jumped on, do come in and say hello, because I can't see unless you do. So there, this one. That's the one I want to start with. So it's live, What are you going to do? But it's this very cool tool with Be Live TV. I can actually do this little agenda, so I can actually talk about and show you on the screen what I'm talking about at the same time. So firstly, what we're going to do is address, basically how the subconscious rules our lives. Did you know that by the age of 7, 80% of our subconscious has already been programmed for our lives? Yeah, 80%. So basically a 7-year-old is running your life for you. Awesome. And what that means is a lot of the belief systems that we have been integrated by that point in your life. By the time you're 7, pretty much your belief systems are set up. And hey, how you doing? Good to have you here. Let's just say hi to, I hope I'm going to say your name right. Baba, sorry, you'll have to message me and let me know what the actual pronunciation is there. But great to have you. Thank you for joining me. And let's just go back here again. There we are. So yes, so by the age of 7, 80% of our subconscious is already programmed, and you can see how that doesn't really serve us well moving forward. Now, if you are, let's just go on to the next one here. How do we get into alignment? Hi, Gil. Hi, Dad. Great to have you guys on here with me. So if you follow Abraham Hicks or any of the big law of attraction gurus, you will know that they say the reason you're not manifesting your desires is because you're not in alignment. I love it as well, Gil. Yeah. Let me just put that comment up there. There we go. Yeah, I love it as well. It's absolutely fascinating to me. And so, I listen to a lot of the Abraham Hicks stuff, and I sort of think, and they tell you, you've got to make this shift, you've got to make the shift. And I've always been, well, yeah, that's great, but how do you make the shift? Do you agree with me? Do you sometimes listen and you think, I know I've got to get into alignment, but I just don't know how to do it? And that has been obviously something that has bothered me as well, because, we build up all these blocks and these limiting beliefs. A lot of them were there from, up to the age of 7. They've already been well ingrained. And sorry, I'm still messing around with this new tool. Here we go. I'm just putting that back up. Hi, Lorenzo. Great to have you here as well. So yes, we've got these blocks, and the thing is, just acknowledging them is not enough. I know I've got financial blocks, money blocks. I know I've got blocks in other areas of my life, and I acknowledge that they're there. And quite frankly, just doing affirmations on a daily basis, you can be saying, I'm making lots of money comes to me easily, and all these sorts of things. But if you're not feeling it here, it's not going to work. You're basically trying to bullshit how you're feeling. And, there are ways, you've probably heard of tapping techniques and all this sort of thing to help remove those blocks. There's actually a method where you can virtually just reprogram your subconscious. And this is from the book, and I don't know if any of you have ever read it. It's called How to Make Money for Anything Fast. And Gil says, I don't like affirmations too much, and to be honest, neither do I. That I don't feel convinced by them. Does that make sense? I can say these things, but I don't feel convinced by them. And you have to be convinced, for this stuff to work, you have to really feel it. You have to really believe it. So I was just talking about, the book, How to Make Anything Fast by Stuart Lichtman. And the vibration has to be up. Thank you, Christine. Great to have you here as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to give you I say it's an overview, but I'm going to tell you exactly what I did, what I took from that book, and exactly what I did that actually got me into total manifestation mode. And I'm going to be doing it again next week. I'm going to be sat down, but I will go into that in a minute. First up, I'm going to tell you my story. Because it is actually a really interesting story. So if you followed my live yesterday, you know that with the other opportunity, I just leveled up. I paid an extra $8,000 to get onto the next level. And, I didn't feel I was getting the right information. And I knew I had to give everything I possibly could. Wealth and Wellness. Actually, I've got two websites, Gil. Gil's sorry, I really should stop chatting while I'm doing these lives. Yes, Wealth and Wellness is one of them, but I've actually got my most recent one is crushitwithkaren.com. So check that one out. That's crushitwithkaren.com. Okay, so I hadn't had any success online. I'd been marketing for about 8 months to this point, without any real success whatsoever. I had a few small sales, but nothing to really write home about and nothing to get excited about when you're already 14K in debt from the costs that you'd racked up from the online marketing. So I knew something had to change. Maybe, it was my subconscious. I needed that shift, and I decided to read the book and actually put into practice what it said. Now, what actually happened, this is around mid-March, and I actually set myself a goal that by the end of April, I would have made $5,000 online through my business. What actually happened, it was around the 6th of May, I made about $6,000, which was just mind-blowing. It missed by a few days, but it actually blew my target away, my goal away. Then I went on for the month of May to make $11,000. And whether you believe it or not, I've got to say there's got to be something in it, and that is why I'm going back to the drawing board and I'm doing this again, and I'm going to be manifesting my multiple 5-figure months, and you can just watch me. So let's go into how we do this. Now, in the book, we talk about, Gil just said, wow. And it was wow. And I was just like, really, when I was doing it, I didn't quite believe it. But basically what you're doing is you're reprogramming your subconscious. It doesn't matter what your blocks are because you're reprogramming it. It's like you're putting a new computer system over the top of the old one, if that makes sense. You're not trying to just get rid of the bugs and trying to pull them out and trying to understand them and everything else. You're just reprogramming it. You're putting a whole new platform over the top of your old subconscious, and it just completely scrubs your old beliefs and with your new ones, basically. And that is whatever you choose, reprogramming your mind. Exactly. So the first task that we were set to do in this book was we had to think of a time in our life, and you might want to write this down. Think of a time in your life when you'd achieved something that you were proud of, that you were really happy about. And you really want to, when you think about it, you also want to think about what was going on around you. Think about the feeling you were having. You know, was it a sunny day? Could you feel the breeze in your hair and all this sort of thing? And really, really, you know, hunker down on that emotion, really relive that moment in your life. Because what you're going to do is you're going to reframe it. So, sorry, I should have, there you go, set the frame, step one. So think of that time in your life that you can really think back to. You can really remember the emotion. You're really proud of yourself. You're pleased with yourself. You'd achieved something that you'd always wanted to achieve. And you know, it doesn't have to be a big achievement. It might be that you're just really pleased with how your garden looks that year, you know, because you put the hard work in and you'd reap in the reward. So, you know, but just try and remember that feeling, try and remember that moment, and really immerse yourself in it. Because the next thing we're going to do is reframe it. And what we want to do is transfer that entire moment, that feeling, into the future. And you're going to transfer your thought process of whatever goal it is that you want to achieve. So I'm going to set one for making, you know, regular $10,000 months, because it hasn't been regular. It's been up and down, and I want it to be regular, and then I can up it. Because here's the important thing. Your goal has to be believable. Okay. Don't go thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to make $100,000 or something like that. You have to be able to believe it. You know, you have to think, yeah, $5,000, for me, $5,000, that seemed like a reasonable, I mean, it was more than I'd ever earned online, period. But it was believable. I believed I could achieve it with what I had. And, you know, so make sure it is believable. So for me, moving forward, I believe, you know, I've already done it. 10K months on a regular basis is absolutely believable. So that is going to be my next, basically my next goal. And they call it the basic achiever something. I can't remember. Sorry, goal, I think, basic achiever goal. So you take that emotion, you take that feeling, and you move it into the future, and you give yourself a date that you want to achieve this goal by. And then next thing you want to do is write it down. Okay. So write down the scenario, and I'll tell you mine. I remember writing the scenario down, and it was because it was end of April, we were starting to get some nice weather. So I set the scenario in my mind that I was in the garden enjoying a gin and tonic, because that's what you do in the UK. So enjoying a gin and tonic. And I got that ding on my phone telling me, you've made a commission. And that was, you know, making up that 5,000 for the month. And the feeling was this great feeling of, it was more of a calm actually, and just enjoying the fact that I'd got this commission come in, and feeling happy and joyful. Bombay gin, actually, do you know, I'm a Hendrix girl, Gil. Yeah, I do like my Hendrix. With a slice of cucumber, actually. It's absolutely lovely. If you haven't tried it, give it a go. Oh yes, love G&T. Maybe I should just hold a whole other live about this subject another time. Brilliant. Okay, so let's get back to it. We're going to write it down. And, you know, so yes, I've got the G&T, I could taste it in my mouth, and I wrote this down, and it was about, so we've got A4 here in the UK. It was probably about 3/4 of a page. You don't want it to be really, really long, and you'll understand why in a minute. But you're just literally capturing that moment that you want to reframe, that you've reached your goal, you've set your deadline, and you're writing it down on paper. And you should always end it with, let this be, crikey, forgive me, I'm not getting the words exactly right here. Let this goal be achieved for the higher good of myself and everyone else involved, which means basically, you know, you're not setting something up for something bad to happen, that it's for everybody's higher good. I'll find that sentence and I'll pop it in the comments. But you know, you always end it with this: it's for my higher good and the higher good of other people. So so you write it down. You can say you can feel the sun on your face, the breeze in your hair. You can taste the gin in your glass, and you can hear the cha-ching on your phone, and you know, and just relay how you feel at that time, and you write it down. Here comes, because it's fairly simple so far, right? It's fairly simple. Here comes the fun part. This is where it's simple, but it's not easy. You take that and you copy it word for word, and you write it down 100 times. Now, it's something to do with the process of writing that completely rewires your brain. Now, I must admit, I actually didn't write it down 100 times. I probably wrote it down about 30, and I had enough and I got bored, and I didn't really dedicate myself to it that much, but it still works. But I have got a couple of hacks that I use that probably helped as well. I recorded it on my phone, just did an audio so I could play it back and listen to it multiple times. So then you're plugging into another sense, which I think really helps. I kept it on my desk where I saw it every single day, and I read it several times a day. So again, it's just another way of getting it into your subconscious. And pretty much that is what I did. That's it. It's kind of simple, but it is laborious, if you know what I mean. And, you know, and let me know, you own this book. Yeah, and Gil, the part I'm telling you is literally only the first few chapters as well. I haven't even gone on to this was for a basic achiever, and I figured if I can get these down and I just keep doing the basic achiever over and over again, then I'll move on and maybe, you know, go for $100,000 goal or something like that, because they've got there's other things further on in the book. But this is literally from the beginning of the book. And if you're interested in the book, it's Get Money for Anything Fast. Anyway, you can get it if I show you the URL. There you go, manifestanythingfast.com. You can actually get the book there. It's $97. You can't get it on Amazon. It's only from this website. I actually, at the time, I bought the book and the audio because I'm more of an audio person. But I did find having them both, I actually listened and read at the same time just to make it go in. It really, really helped me. But yeah, there you have it. That is exactly how it all happened. And hi, Mike, and I see you here as well. So just to recap, you know, I've basically gone over my story, and I've given you, if you've just come in, you're going to have to watch the live again, I'm afraid, or tune in at 8 PM on my page, because I'll be repeating this then. Basically, the actual practical method I went through helped me have my first ever breakthrough online, and I made $6,000 in about 5 weeks, which was incredible. Tomorrow, what I want to talk about is really I had one aha moment. Oh, here we go. I had one aha moment after another, after another, after another. There was something about what happened with my subconscious and with what I did with the programming. It kind of took all the fear and resistance away. So when things were being presented to me, where my intuition was obviously honing in on stuff because I'd cleared all the crap from my subconscious, you know, I was just doing things and it felt effortless. And you hear this, don't you? You hear you're in flow. It's effortless. And it was. I had no fear. I had no resistance. And I knew what I was doing was absolutely the right thing to do. And that is what it gives you. And until you do it, until you feel it, I really, you know, it's an incredible thing. It's not that you're not in control, but it's just like you have this complete faith that what you're doing is the right thing to do. So, you know, it's yeah, it's fascinating stuff. So yeah, go back over the live if you've just jumped on. And we've got Gemma who's joined us. Hi, Gemma. Nice to have you here. She says, yes, she prefers to listen to audios as well, which absolutely I do. Yeah, in the car, while you're doing your housework, doing the cooking. It's just easier, isn't it, Gemma? I don't have time to sit down and read a book. You know, we've got kids. So yeah, it's just not. And you're saying daily affirmations. I actually addressed this quite early on, that sometimes just acknowledging that you've got blocks isn't always enough, because you have to believe it here. And so you can say affirmations. Some people it works for. I'm not knocking it at all. But sometimes, you know, especially with those money blocks where you're saying, you know, I'm receiving money every day, I'm making thousands of pounds or whatever, you know, whatever your affirmation around money might be. And I know for me, because from my story of being in debt, I found it hard to believe myself. Although I know all this stuff, I know all the law of attraction stuff, just something wasn't connecting from here to here. And I hope that makes sense. And I'm showing a bit of boob there, sorry. So, you know, the steps I've just gone through will really help you make that connection if affirmations alone are not enough. And just to skip to the chase, the whole reason I'm doing these lives this week is because I am actually promoting an ebook. And the reason I'm promoting this ebook is because everything that's in it actually turned around my online marketing business. So where I talk about the aha moments that I got, you know, I got so many aha moments, and just from following my intuition, from following my instincts, from because of what I did, aligning my subconscious. All these, everything I learned about online marketing that was just making me go, oh my God, I didn't realize, oh my God, you know, why has nobody ever told me this stuff before? It's all in this ebook. So I just want to share that with you. So if you are in online marketing or even network marketing, it's $7. It's $7, which really is nothing. I'm also doing some bonuses. So if you do decide to buy the ebook before midnight on Friday, you will get to have a strategy call with me, because I've been using this stuff for about 9 months now, and having a lot of success in my own business. You will also get to join my mastermind group that I have for my team, where I share the stuff that's working for me, capture pages that are working for me, etc., to give you the best conversions for your business, basically. And also I do extra training to get you up and going fast, so that you can really get a good understanding and just hit the ground running, basically. So you'll get all those bonuses too if you decide to buy the ebook before midnight on Friday. So yeah, crushitwithkaren.com/profit. And right, okay, so guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you coming online with me here. Have any of you got any questions? I know I kind of covered quite a big topic here, so if anybody wants to ask any questions, I'll stay on for a couple more minutes, because it's a great subject, isn't it? I mean, we love talking about it. And the fact is, if you can find a way that's just going to help you hack into that law of attraction, then aren't we all up for that? I mean, I think so. So you really want to get your conscious and your subconscious. You do like Crush It with Karen. There you go. Sorry, that was good. I'll just put that up there. There we go, so you can see. So yes. Yes, so what we really want to do is for our conscious mind to start dictating to our subconscious. We want to undo all that programming that we had before we were 7 years old. 80% of our subconscious is programmed before we're 7. Our lives are run by a 7-year-old. Let's get over that. Let's, you know, start creating our own futures. Skip the writing. I don't know, Gil, you can give it a go. I mean, why not? You know, I know what you mean about the writing. I mean, writing 100 times, it's a lot. It takes hours and hours. It can literally take a whole day to do that. It's my dad, he says it's our fault. Yes, it is your fault. But it's what we pick up from the world around us, and you know, it's what we believe, and sometimes those beliefs are so crazy. It's not necessarily come from your parents even. It's just something that you've associated it in your childlike mind. You've put some associations together which make absolutely no sense, and for some reason you carry those into adulthood, and we really want to get rid of those because they're rubbish, but they're giving us blocks, they're giving us limitations. It's crazy. So, you know, there we go. Okay, so we've got no more questions. Gil asked if I thought visualization was enough. And Rondell says, living in the present and being aware. Yes, I mean, that's absolutely right. You know, to have a happy life, that's exactly what you've got to do. But yeah, I've heard visualization works for a lot of people, Gil. If it works for you, then awesome, do it. Do it every day, several times a day, if that's what it takes. Just imagine that moment, because that is all it is. It's a moment. So if you just, you know, it could be like 5 seconds of just, you know, looking at the phone and seeing you got that commission and going, yay. That could be it. You know, that could be your moment, but you just need to keep picturing it over and over again. Make sure you write it down quite a few times though. I would, because I think it just, you know, if you're hearing it, you're visualizing it, you're writing it down, you're reading it, it's just hitting all those senses, isn't it? So yeah, do it. Do it. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you. And Gil, Rondell, Gemma, who else? I've had Christine. Guys, you'll rock. Thank you very much for coming on. I hope you got loads and loads of value today. And I will be doing this again later at 8 p.m. if you wanted to go through it all over again. And yeah, join me then. Take care now. Bye-bye. Mwah.